Alright, hi guys, Kil2 again. I wanted to get some more content up for you guys on this channel because I've actually been picking up a couple subscribers a day based mostly on my last video, I assume, and it's been a while since I put something up. So that's partly because I've been working on the podcast, which if you haven't heard, go find it. It's in the My Eve section of the Evo forums, and it's a lot like some of the stuff I put up on here. It's focused on content and improving and stuff like that. So if you haven't seen that, you'd be interested, and hopefully I can get more content coming on here for those of you that like video, or combine the two eventually. So anyway, I've got another fight. Again, it's a ham drake, and again it's a little solo situation that I think there's some things to talk about. So I'm gonna have a screenshot up for you now, hopefully, of the beginning of the fight, and what you're looking at is me before I've decloaked, after I've jumped into a system. I can't remember the details, this was a couple weeks ago, but I know there's a ship or two that were on scan in the last system, so I know there's people coming to help. And then there's obviously 17 local here, and there's some stuff on the gate when I jump in. And the thing that I really want to focus on most in this fight, before I even start it, is that I've always noticed this about rapiers and Hugins particularly, and it's true of some other recons. I guess curses and Arazus can fall into the same category, but more than anything it's true with rapiers and Hugins, and that's that when they hit the grid, like right now I have the opportunity to tackle this rapier, but that opportunity goes away the second he leaves my tackle range, because right now he doesn't have a lock, which means I can develop a little speed. And once he's tackled, I can actually move about as fast as him, so he shouldn't be able to get away. But the second I let him outside my scram and web range, he's never coming back. And that means from then on, I have to only fight whatever's right around me, and I might even not be able to get back to the gate. So this window where I can kill the rapier is like so important, and I feel like a lot of time that opportunity exists when people might not realize it. When a recon first enters the grid is a really good time, like right here. I think he's just warped to the gate, so he's at 0 on the gate rather than being far away from it. And his first priority, because he thinks I'm running away, I think, from the people in the last system, is going to be to tackle me. And that's something I mentioned in the podcast, this idea of people being kind of desperate at times to get a tackle or something like that, and it makes them act in a way that isn't in their best interest, even though they don't realize it. So right here, the first thing he's gonna do is try to tackle me. He's more worried about that than his own safety, because as far as he's concerned, they've got a lot of people, I'm just one drake. It's more important to get the tackle than anything else. So he's gonna, if you watch close, you'll see too, he locks and tackles me before he even starts moving away from the gate, and by then I've got him scrammed and webbed, and that's it. So let's start the video. I'll start it right now, and you'll see what I mean. So the first thing I do, and I overheat the micro warp too, which is important, because I have to make sure to get close enough to him that he can't escape my tackle once it's there. So that's pretty well accomplished. Overheat the scram and web, and now that he's under 10k, he can't turn a micro warp on, he'll never have an afterburner, and from here he can't get away. Without a micro warp he's dead, especially because for now I'm not scrammed. So with my micro warp on, even with his 2 webs, I'm moving faster. And then it's just a free kill. I mean, recons generally aren't too bad to kill once you can actually get them locked and get close to them. So I'm excited about that. And the nice thing too is that they're really expensive, so I feel fine trading my drake for this rapier if that's the way it goes down. I just want to make sure I get the rapier to give me 3-to-1 ISK efficiency or whatever in the fight. So that's why I'm overheating the top rack. I don't know how much stuff's going to be here, and I just want to make sure to take him down. And as you can see too, he kind of gave up, it looks like, on getting away from me. He's like orbiting or something, which I don't know what his plan is there. Anyway, then I get a talos next, and I know you guys probably haven't seen tons of these, and for now it's really hard to say how they're going to be fit. This guy comes charging at me. He's got tackle, even though there's an overview bug right now that makes it so you can't see what tackle he has. It's 2 webs and a scram. So I'm not going anywhere, which points towards blasters, of course. And actually, me and him, I actually talked to him after the fight, we're both surprised at how long I was able to tank him. He should be doing like 1,000 DPS or something right here. And I've got my invulns overheated, but as you can see, I'm able to handle it for quite a while. I'm in his optimal, transversal is really low, he should be hitting me with no trouble. But on the other hand, his tank is small, and I'm overheating my top rack too, so I actually do enough damage to break him. If I could choose, my first reaction when he came into this fight was to get close to him in orbit. But if he's armor tanked, which he was, I'm never going to be able to do that. He's always going to be able to slow me down enough to hit me. And so the better option would have been to go away from him and just try to get as far from his optimal as I can. Anytime you're fighting a ship that has really low optimal, which is Galent or Minmatar, you're better served by just getting more distance. Every little bit of distance you get is a little less damage you're going to take. So that would have been my best option. But with his 2 webs, I'm really never getting very far anyway. And I'm starting to get more stuff stacked up against me here, and I had thought I was going down for sure, so my strategy had turned towards just kill whatever I can. So I'm trying to lock up this frig, but then I get jammed by ECM drones again, which is pretty common, and that's actually fine. What it did in this fight, which is funny, well, it looks like maybe I was thinking to de-aggro even before I got jammed, so maybe I'm wrong about that. And de-aggroing in a situation like this is really good. A lot of time when you're low on tank, like in this situation, I'm out of shields, people won't think to cover the back of the gate. They'll just thinking bring you down before you can de-aggro. They're just thinking do as much damage as possible and finish you off. There's no way, you know, with just armor left, I'm gonna be able to get out. But for whatever reason, their damage gets really light. Like, they have a Vagabond, which should have closed range with me, just come right up to 0 and shot as hard as it could. And there's Legion on grid now. Another Recon was here a second ago, plus the Frigs. And I'm surprised it took them so long to kill me, but man, I'd love to have those neutron blasters now. They're worth like 10 mil a piece. But anyway, I was able to de-aggro and make it out. So I'm like, great, awesome, I'm free to go, which is sweet. But then one Rapier was smart enough to come over to this side and protect this side of the gate. And here I make some more mistakes. So I hit warp hoping, sometimes people will just be slow. They'll accidentally mess up their initial lock or whatever, and you'll get off the gate just by warping. This guy doesn't do that. Again, overview bug, so, oh, there it goes. So I'm webbed. And here, for some reason, what I think is I'll micro warp back to the gate. And under 2 webs, it's not out of the question that I'd be able to do that, but it would take a while. And I don't have any HP left. Plus, there's no reason why they wouldn't cover the back of the gate now. Now they know that my whole idea is to de-aggro, and all I have to do is leave one dude on the other side, and I'm never getting away. So I think this was a real mistake. I should have stayed aligned and just prayed that, you know, like right here when he came close, I could have tried to kill him or force him away from me or something. And of course, hindsight's 20/20, but I do think aligning here would have been better. And as it turns out, it would have been much better, because what he does is, for whatever reason, when he burned towards me, he totally overshot me. So now he's 32k away. There's no point on me. He still has webs, but I could have warped off grid right here. And here he gets far enough away that the webs even drop. I have no idea why he did that. I really don't know. So I almost get off grid, and then this stiletto is able to get in. He was, of course, waiting on his aggression timer from the last system. He gets in and gets a point, and that will pretty much do it. So, you know, kind of straightforward. Again, kind of showing the power of the Hamdrake just by beating up that Talos after being already taking some damage. And I think, again, the main lesson, like the thing that is really good to focus on, is a lot of times people in really expensive ships, especially recons, but this will happen with hacks too, like Vagabonds or Cinnaballs or whatever, they put themselves in a bad situation because they think you're trying to get away, and there's a little window where you can get a tackle that's very hard to get. And once you have that tackle, you have the kill, and a lot of times that kill's enough to justify your loss. I mean, it depends on how you're thinking about PvPing in general, but usually I'm happy to trade a 150 mil recon for a battlecruiser. And there's a lot of times when people put themselves in a spot where they can lose one just by underestimating your intentions, because they think you're trying to get away. So anyway, hope that was interesting for you guys, and I'll get this posted. And like I said, check out the podcast, and I'll try to keep content coming on here as I can. I've been doing more fleet stuff, like with 6 people instead of solo or duo, so that's why I'm a little low on footage, but maybe you guys would like to see some of that too, so we'll see. But I'll try to keep stuff coming. Alright, take it easy.